Hello students, I am Dr. Tanmay Vishwas. I welcome you all in my channel Chemistry, the Mystery of Molecules. Today's topic for discussion is CO2 fixation logically. Let's start. By the way, please remember this CO2 emission, or better to say excess CO2 emission because of human activities, is the biggest pollution on the earth made by human, and over 90% of commercially available organic chemicals are sourced from crude oil. And you can see in this image that 84.3% of global energy comes from fossil fuel, means CO2 emission is happening in this case. So first, for any solution we need to shift our energy sources from this fossil fuel to renewables. Then it is better to take some other steps, and by the way we need to think about how we can separate the excess CO2 from the atmosphere, and by the way some technologies are there, more research needed. And second thing, how to utilize that CO2 such that we can separate the CO2 from the atmosphere for a longer time. So that we shall learn today. And please remember that if we continue such rate or this fossil fuel consumption, so at the year 2100 the global average temperature is expected to rise 4 to 5 degrees centigrade, and this could be dangerous for our existence, means it will challenge our existence. So we need to take step as soon as possible, as much as possible. Now the question, what is the major source for this CO2 emission? Coal. Undoubtedly, because coal is the carbon which we burn to produce energy, and in this context huge amount of energy needed. If it produces more CO2 compared to natural gas, which is relatively green, relatively less dirty fuel, I would say. And in this COP26 meeting, people have demanded to stop or reduce the coal-fired power plants in order to secure our future from this global average temperature rise. And by the way, there are some other sectors like cement production, iron and steel production, which plays significant role. But interestingly, if you see one, that is ammonia production, is associated with small but a significant figure. So we shall learn why this is. Now, what are the solution? First of all, trees are the best solution, undoubtedly. Now in this video we shall discuss some chemical solution. But before going to solution, we need to learn that why is chemical CO2 fixation needed. We can plant more trees, and as photosynthesis is most efficient, this is because plants are capable to absorb in ppm scale carbon dioxide. So those are most efficient. So why don't we depend only on plant? This is because our negligence now and for future, because our energy production system is running such a way that next few decades also we shall emit CO2 for our energy production. Consequently, huge amount of CO2 will be dumped into the atmosphere yearly, and we have to face its consequences like abnormal weather patterning, powerful cyclone, sea level rising, etc. And it will challenge our security. And it's the time to pay for our own karma, means excess CO2 production. Otherwise it will be too late. So we need to take step. And in this context, some illogical argument we face, that is, why should we invest on money when we are not able to solve basic needs like food, fresh water, education, health facility, etc. Why should we need to carry out research about global warming and climate change, which needs funds? And most importantly, restriction on fossil fuel consumption will slow down economic growth. Should we take risk? The answer is we should stop climate change, because otherwise it will create lots of climate refugee, means people will lose their home, their crops will be destroyed, their livestock will be destroyed, abnormal weather pattern will be very common. And what is economic growth if the society doesn't survive, people can't survive? So we need to think on future perspective too, that economy is needed, along with that environment is also needed. Like increasing global temperature will increase the number and the strength of cyclones like Amphan. So consequently, many people will lose their home, their crops, etc. Means it's really dangerous. Who have faced, they know the pain. Now, few points we must remember while we do CO2 fixation. The most important point, how much CO2 is directly utilized in this case? how much CO2 emission is avoided and what is the footprint of such kind of transformation. Means every chemical transformation is associated with some energy, and energy means some carbon footprint. What is the carbon footprint and how long the CO2 could be fixed in that state, and most important thing, from where the energy came and from where the reactants came, what is the carbon footprint of that. Generally we ignore this step, but we must be very careful, otherwise we will not get the benefit overall. Now in this context, the best thing we consider as photosynthesis, as I told, that ppm level it can do. And what is this? This is reaction of carbon dioxide with water in terms of chlorophyll and sunlight, which produces carbohydrate and oxygen. Oxygen we use for breathing purpose, and this carbohydrate could be utilized for the fermentation process to produce ethanol, more specifically bioethanol, which is a source of green energy. But some point we must remember: first of all, do we have enough food produced to feed the population? Point number one. Second, due to abnormal weather pattern, our crops will be destroyed. So is it a good choice to utilize crops for energy production? So that's the thing. And what is the CO2 footprint associated with this fuel production? Because first of all, some fertilizer needed, some other activity needed. During that process also CO2 emission, methane emission happen. So is it overall profitable? Not only that, by fermentation, what grade ethanol we are getting and what grade ethanol is needed to run a car, and during that transformation how much energy is consumed, is this ethanol can fulfill that kind of energy requirement or not? So that's very important, we should think more. And in this context, biomass could be another option. Biomass is a plant or animal material which is used for energy production or fertilizer production. Now the most important thing, as I told some time before about that that Haber process. Why Haber process is so much important? Because Haber process produces ammonia, and that ammonia is utilized to prepare urea, which is most widely used synthetic nitrogen fertilizer. This process is associated with significant amount of CO2 emission. This is because the production, mainly I'll say, the production of hydrogen. Right now we produce mainly gray hydrogen, means the hydrogen, this hydrogen is produced from petroleum or fossil fuel based sources. But what we need for our sustainable future, that is green hydrogen, and this could be produced from water electrolysis, and that energy or electricity should come from renewable sources. So that's the best thing. And in this context, you can see the typical duration of CO2 fixation is for few months. So we need to think properly. And please remember that it's assumed that nearly half of our current population increase is because of Haber process, means this ammonia production and ammonia to urea conversion. And this is the beauty of chemistry, that for this chemical reaction half of world population is getting food. Another is medicine preparation, like aspirin. From petroleum or benzene, phenol is produced, and this phenol reacted with carbon dioxide and base, and ultimately it produces this salicylic acid via Kolbe-Schmidt reaction. And later on this salicylic acid reacted with acetic anhydride to produce aspirin as a medicine. So this is another interesting thing, where carbon dioxide is fixed for medicine preparation. Typical duration for such CO2 fixation is for few years, but interestingly this process is dependent on petroleum for its raw material. Now another good reaction is epoxide to cyclic carbonate conversion, and by the way, my PhD is also associated with this chemical transformation. In this context, that epoxide 3-member cyclic ether is reacted with carbon dioxide and produce a 5-member cyclic ester, which is cyclic carbonate. This reaction happens because of its very high energy release, and this material is very useful as solvent in lithium-ion battery, because we consider this battery could provide us energy, or transport sector it will help us, or store energy huge amount in our near future. But this process should be carried out ambient pressure like 1 atmosphere, that will be best for its larger scale production. Now another good application is preparation of polycarbonate, because it's a plastic type solid material and it has a huge utilization for domestic uses and other also. Means in this case carbon dioxide is fixed into the solid material and we can use it extensively. So research on this thing and further utilization for this carbon dioxide, it will be a very good solution for our future. Another application for solid material preparation from carbon dioxide fixation is polyurethane preparation via non-isocyanate route. What is this? Actually, in this case, dicyclic carbonate reacted with diamine, which produces this polyurethane. By the way, the other method for preparation of polyurethane is diisocyanate based method, where the chemical itself is significantly toxic and the moisture sensitivity make the process additional costly, but these dicyclic carbonates are not that much moisture sensitive and it could easily be prepared by reaction of this diepoxide with carbon dioxide in presence of some catalyst. So the best thing is methanol synthesis from carbon dioxide. This is best because its application is wide. In this context, carbon dioxide reacted with hydrogen and produces methanol and water, and during this chemical transformation carbon monoxide is produced as intermediate. I have already discussed a dedicated lecture on this. By the way, in this context also green hydrogen is essential for our sustainable purpose, but in this context some other argument is that carbon dioxide could be reduced to methane and it is also a good fuel. So which is actually better between this methanol and methane? By the way, methanol is better than methane because methanol is liquid and easy to handle and methane is gaseous. Additionally, enough amount of methane could be prepared from biogas, point number 1, or methane clathrates. I have already discussed previously that we have total storage of methane clathrates is more than total proven reserve of fossil fuel. Just imagine how much methane we have, and due to global warming this will release slowly and mix into the atmosphere, and methane is more potential global warming gas compared to carbon dioxide. So it is better that we trap that carbon dioxide, extract that energy from methane via burning or other chemical transformation and release carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Then the destruction will be relatively low. And not only that, if we are able to achieve selective transformation from this methane to methanol, that will be the game changer for our planet. So in this context, as I told, this CO2 should become from green sources, and we can use solar energy for production of this green hydrogen, because in daytime we have huge amount of energy. We will convert that electrical energy into chemical energy in the form of hydrogen. We can burn that hydrogen directly or we can utilize for chemical production like methanol. Now, what is the thermodynamics and kinetics associated with this CO2 reduction? This CO2 molecule is thermodynamically very stable and kinetically inert, and that makes fossil fuel for good choice, because if you burn any fossil fuel you get huge amount of energy because ultimate product is very stable. So you need to keep it in mind one information, that if you want to convert carbon dioxide into fuel, you need to supply huge amount of energy in the form of chemical or in the form of electrical energy. I mean chemical CO2 conversion or electrochemical CO2 reduction, like that. So we need to be careful, and in this context solar energy could be the best solution. As I told, in daytime we have more than we need and night time we don't have, so we can utilize the solar energy and convert it into chemical energy through CO2 reduction. For example, not only that, we can reduce carbon dioxide photochemically to carbon monoxide, and that carbon monoxide could be converted into methanol and can be utilized as fuel. Now in this context, please remember that we need to divert our chemical chain from fossil fuel to other sources for sustainable future, but it is not that much essential like fossil fuel replacement for our power generation, because that is the main culprit for CO2 emission into the atmosphere. So thanks for watching, and if possible please subscribe my another channel, Climate and Chemistry, where I upload global warming and climate change related video.